Hi, I'm Francine Pascal, and I'm in the studio where the audiobook of Sweet Valley Confidential is being recorded. After all these years, I'm still so attached to these characters, and I'm excited for old fans to reconnect with them and new audiences to meet them.
Macmillan Audio presents Sweet Valley Confidential by Francine Pascal. Read for you by January Lavoy.
Chapter 1. New York. Elizabeth had turned the key in the fox lock, releasing a heavy metal bar that scraped across the inside of the front door with an impressive prison gate sound, and was about to attack the seagull lock when the phone in the apartment started to ring. By the time she had opened the second lock and was sliding the key into the last one, this was New York after all, the phone was on its fourth ring. At almost midnight, it had to be the West Coast calling. She could still grab it in time, but Elizabeth didn't hurry. Slow, with purpose. Slow, giving the internal anger and hurt time to shoot from 0 to 100. It needed only seconds, like the startup speed of a Maserati. Except it was never at 0. Not anymore. Hadn't been for the last 8 months. And she couldn't imagine a time when it would ever be there again. As always, the hurt overpowered the anger, and what welled up in her throat came with tears that choked her. "You going to get that?" David Stevenson, the young man standing next to her, asked as he stretched his arm over her head to hold the door open. David was 6'3", and at her 5'6" it was way over her head. "That's okay," she managed, quickly ducking her face away from him, stealing a sliver of extra time as she put the doggy-bagged pork chop she was carrying carefully and more precisely than necessary down on the hall table. It gave her enough time to catch her breath and let the tears slide back down her throat. And with that momentary respite came an irresistible, nasty need to satisfy the anger physically. All she had was her purse. It would do. She flung it as hard as she could into the hall chair and watched as the Prada knockoff hit the upholstered back, bounced off, and came to rest on the edge of the chair. A little dumb, but it was a surprisingly good release. Like that embarrassing time a month ago on Broadway, when the fury escaped her mind into her mouth and she said out loud, really loudly, "I hate you!" People turned, shocked and then interested. She quickly put her hand to her ear as if she were on a cell phone, and it became ordinary and they lost interest. David had already walked into the living room, missing all the action behind him.
"You have a landline? And an answering machine?"
"My mother. A going-away gift. She said it made her feel that I was safer. How, I don't know. I think it made her feel safer." Elizabeth could hear her own calm message playing in the background. "Please leave your name and number, and I'll return your call as soon as possible. Thank you." "I'm just going to throw this in the fridge," she said, scooping up the doggy bag, back in control. "Would you like a glass of wine?" By now she was halfway through the narrow, sparsely furnished living room, heading into the safety of the very small jerry-built kitchen with its squeezed-in mini refrigerator, 2-burner stove, tiny oven, and an outsized, badly chipped, probably pre-war like the rest of the building, porcelain sink deep enough to wash babies as well as dishes.
"Sure, okay. With a couple of ice cubes, please."
"Lizzie, pick up." The woman's voice on the machine was plaintive. "Please, I really need to talk to you." Of course, Elizabeth could hear it from the kitchen. Could she ever miss that voice? Now so sweet, so seductive, pleading softly, spreading out the vowels almost song-like. "Lizzie." That voice, so heavy with love. "Love me," it said. "Forgive me, so I can put you out of the way and get back to my own life. I forgot to fill the ice tray, but the wine's really cold." Elizabeth's voice was so calm, David thought maybe she hadn't heard the message.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?